This is Evan Yares. I'm talking to Jon Peddie, who is a well-known analyst and consultant in the graphics industry. And John, I wanted to talk about, there's a new generation of 3D graphics software out, graphics hardware out now. What can this stuff do for CAD users, and what are the possibilities?
It can do a lot. The problem is that the providers of the CAD software, what we call the ISVs, the independent software vendors, they haven't been taking advantage of this hardware quickly enough. And the reason that they haven't been taking advantage of it is because it is difficult. The idea is that when we first developed CAD software, it was done in a very sequential way, step 1, step 2, step 3, so forth. And that was all we could do because that's the kind of processors we had. This started back in the 1960s. And we've gone forward and we hit this wonderful period of time that started in about the late 70s where Moore's Law started to kick in. And when Moore's Law was just starting to take off, we were getting faster and faster processors at no extra cost. So the price of the machines bought in, say, 1979 would be the same price as we pay in 1981, except that it would be somewhere between 5 and 10 times faster. So this was a free ride for the ISVs. Their software ran faster and faster because the hardware was running faster. But the hardware was just higher clock speeds to run faster. We reached a certain point in the late 80s, the late 90s, early 2000s, where we just couldn't keep turning up the clock to make the processors go faster because they got too hot. And that's when we started going out instead of up. And going out meant that we were adding extra processors. That's when we went to dual core and 4 core, and now we're at 16 core on the CPU side. Simultaneously with that, we went to GPUs, and the GPUs expanded very rapidly to 100 cores, 500 cores. Today you get 1,600 cores from AMD as an example, 1,500 from NVIDIA. And now you've got all of these processors out there that could be used, but unfortunately aren't being used. And it's because the software companies haven't gotten to the point where A, they're confident that there's a big enough installed base out there that it justifies the investment that they have to make, and B, that they know where to fine-tune their software. So there are a lot of speeding or speed-up opportunities in their software, in everybody's software. This is not a single company. They all have these problems. And part of the problem is that their software does go back to 1960. But they could speed it up. They have to invest the time to do it. These are tough times. We're all under economic pressures. So the ROI has really got to be great for them, and they're just a little nervous about that. The difficulty of that is that until they do that, we as engineers are not going to get the benefit of this fabulous hardware, except for rendering. That's the only place it's getting used right now. So we're at this awkward spot where we're waiting for the ISVs to take advantage of all this great hardware. And hopefully they'll get on the job and take care of it soon.
Okay, thank you, John.
Happy to do it.